So we just finished Show the Truth for 2013, Willie. We were in Lindsay and Peterborough this week. And of course, again, one of the main concerns, and rightly so, is that these pictures are too graphic for children to see. Now, I've known you for many years, and I know you're a gentle woman, and I know you wouldn't do this if you didn't think they were effective. But beyond that, what's your experience with children and these graphic images?
Well, usually children will look at it if they're maybe 5 years of age or older, and they may look intently and trying to figure out what it is that they're seeing. Smaller children, the age of 3, they kind of may look and turn their head away and are involved in other things in their mind, so it doesn't distract them or attract them either. So this is what I found mainly.
Is this for children actually walking by on the sidewalk?
By with the parents or in strollers, and even children in cars. They've looked and looked over the car edge and just to see, but I don't see them react to anything. If the parent isn't reacting, the kids just sit there and watch, and sometimes turn their heads back to have another look at it, but they don't seem to be disturbed.
No. Now this is actually not a picture that we normally are able to use. This shows the results of a saline abortion, and it's still bad. Like, it shows a dead baby that's been burned, and it's not as graphic as some of the other ones. Now we have other pictures that are probably more graphic than this. We have the worst one, which is a 3rd trimester baby, in which they show the head, and that definitely looks pretty awful. What's your experience with holding that one, Willie?
Well, it seems they're not reacting as violently because it's discernible. They can see it's a face, and their kids are confused in what it is that they're seeing because it doesn't look like the reality they know. But I've never seen a child in front of me get upset by seeing the picture.
And
I've had those. One of those, I've been behind those many, many times.
And you've had children with their parents right in front of the sign,
yeah.
And they don't start to cry or in any way seem to be upset?
No, I had a Mongoloid adult and who was looking at it and was getting frustrated, and the parents kept saying, it's the baby, and he was just groaning, And so when I pointed out that the baby was hurt, ouch, pain, and then he just acknowledged that, and then he was fine. Then he just accepted that, and I mean, it's.
That was an adult that had Down syndrome.
Down syndrome, yeah.
Right. Okay. So that man, of course, was
upset. A child's mind.
Right, and was upset because he recognized.
But he wasn't screaming or anything. He was just getting frustrated. They didn't understand what he was seeing, or they were trying to tell him to see something that he couldn't see. It wasn't realistic to him. But when I said the pain and the hurting, then he could see that it was pain and hurting, and that was all.
What do the children seem to react to then? If they don't sort of make sense of the pictures, what upsets them?
When the parents start to scream and holler at me, like yesterday, for instance, I had a parent come to me, and the child was very calm, sitting on the father's arm and hanging over his shoulder, and he looked at the picture, and I didn't seem to be upset, but the father was upset. And then the louder the father became, and the more the child became uneasy and turned around and twisted his father's arm. He didn't scream or anything, but he was definitely uncomfortable. And I asked the father, can you just hold your voice down just for his sake? And the father wouldn't hear that. He screamed even louder, so I just gave up.
Yeah, you know what? That's been my experience too. When the parents are calm and, just talking to us, even with that one with the head, which is the 3rd trimester, standing right in front of my sign. I was talking to the mother, in a normal voice. The child just doesn't even react because it doesn't make any sense at all.
Doesn't make sense.
And they're almost too close to kind of make any sense of it.
Yeah.
And then they just walk away down the street.
Yeah.
Whereas, what happened in Lindsay, parents come out and they're swearing and screaming, and the kids are scared in the back seat, not because of the signs.
Yeah. I've seen the mother just dragging a child and screaming and covering the child's head, and the kids was squirming and started to cry because the kid didn't know what was going on. The next day, the mother came back with the same child. The child looked at the picture and was fine. It was not a problem, and I kind of smiled at the child, and the mother was just walking through without saying anything. There's no reaction. Same mother, same child.
What would you suggest to parents who, say, what should we say to our young child that might understand and say 4, 5, 6 years old and says, "Mommy, that's a dead baby." Well, how would you say that, might be a loving way to respond to that child?
Well, there's different ways. Depends on what the child can understand and how the child will react. The mother knows best how a child would react to things. In general, you don't just give them a whole lot. Yes, that baby got hurt, or yes, that baby is dead. If the child asks further, the mother can respond to that question and explain whatever the child can understand. Don't go into much detail. And abortion is bad. They don't even know what abortion means. One time a child said to me, "Who is abortion?" Not what is abortion, but who is abortion? Abortion kills children. Who is abortion? They didn't understand the word abortion. Thought it was a person who was killing. So it depends on what the child understands.
Right. It's not something you really need to dwell on. Just quick explanation and move on. Distract them,
Right. That's right.
and before you know it, they've forgotten about it.
That's,
Really.
That's hurting. It's
Yeah.
terrible that these terrible things happen to children.
Right.
Just like an accident. It's
So the bottom line is these pictures are graphic for sure and upsetting to everyone,
Sure.
but abortion is still occurring in Canada, and why do we show these graphic pictures?
We need to let people know that this is the truth. This is what abortion does. And that this is horrible. It kills people. It hurts women. It hurts so many people in the family. This needs to stop.
Okay. Thanks, Willie.
Wow.